The Minister for Sports, Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, will officially launch Heritage Month 2021 this morning under the theme, The Year of Charlotte Maxeke, celebrating South Africa's intangible cultural heritage. The event will be held under strict COVID-19 restrictions at the Freedom Park Heritage Site and Museum in Pretoria. Patricia Visagie is there. Let's bring her in now, Patricia. Quite a beautiful setting you're in this morning, celebrating the freedom of this country. What's happening today?
Good morning, and of course to our viewers, ushering annual Heritage Month, a time and space where our cultural diversity, our cultural identity is celebrated, is protected, and of course preserved. But it's also a time and perhaps a month where many important aspects in our society are also delved into, an important dialogue is prioritized. You would understand the program also encompasses looking into the whole issue of gender-based violence, as we know that it's quite a topical agenda in our society, and just having come from Women's Month, it's still very relevant. And of course all the issues that we have been dealing with, that makes headlines in particular about women who are suffering at the scourge of gender-based violence. So that's one of the elements that will of course be addressed in the minister's speech later in the program. But as I said, the importance remains our cultural diversity. We're here at Freedom Park, and just to give you a wide shot, you can see that we're getting ready here. And of course, it's still in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, so all the protocols being observed, people wearing masks, social distancing being prioritized, so everything here in order. And of course, the fitness of our people also being prioritized to encourage a healthy lifestyle. I just want to show you a shot there. You see a lot of young men and women in their fitness gear. This is part of the Heritage Month theme, just to promote a culture of fitness in our society. But to help me unpack some of the main topics of this particular program and what it really means and what the difference is this year, 2019 Heritage Month. I am now joined by the department spokesperson, Masechaba Kumalo. Thank you so much for joining us. Just take us through, I think the importance right now for many of us is why the theme, or rather the element of gender-based violence, why did the department see it fit to also incorporate that in your program?
Well, thank you very much, Patricia. We appreciate your support, of course. Today is a very important day. This month is an important month. As you know, we've just come out of Women's Month, and this is now Heritage Month. South Africa is a very dynamic nation, and so today and this month are really about honoring and celebrating the cultural wealth of this country. Why gender-based violence and femicide? Because South Africa has one of the highest rates of gender-based violence and femicide in the world, and that cannot happen under our watch. We say enough is enough. Okay.
And enough is enough. We've heard that so much as a department this month. As I said, you're highlighting this particular theme, but of course not moving away from the main theme, which is Heritage Month, our cultural identity. Having dealt with this issue so much, you're a woman, I'm a woman, and we are all affected by this. What is the most important thing that you as a department want to communicate to South African women, but just everyone as a collective?
The most important thing that we would like to communicate when it comes to gender-based violence and femicide as a department is that fathers need to have these conversations with their sons. And the reason being that it is enough that it should be the victims that are having these conversations amongst themselves. The violence is mostly, it's caused by men largely. And so it is very important that the very perpetrators are able to then start creating consciousness. Guys need to start calling each other out. It's not enough to just say we're creating awareness, but we're trying to change the mindset. We are trying to change the behavior of perpetrators. We are trying to change the behavior of people. Next door, you don't want to intervene because it's a domestic issue. Crime is not a domestic issue. Crime is crime.
There's also the whole conversation that we've been having over the years that, some cultural practices do promote and, of course, protect patriarchy. And we know that gender-based violence and patriarchy go hand in hand. That is also why this is so significant.
Yes, 100%. Patriarchy, right along there with toxic masculinity. It is really about changing mindsets so that we are able to then build the boy child so that we can have stronger men who are powerful, who are protective, who are nurturing, who care.
How do we do that culturally as we are celebrating Heritage Month?
That's a very good question. It takes a top-down and bottom-up approach in order to do that. So what I mean by that is like abokoko, abomkhulu, really need to be a part of these conversations. And it literally starts from foundation phase, where we are inculcating healthy attitudes in our boy children and girl children, right? So that we're able to develop a healthier nation. Let's be real about this. It's Heritage Month. We are in Freedom Park, and Freedom Park, is a custodian of the rich history of South Africa, pre-colonialism, post-apartheid. Apartheid really, really messed us up mentally. It broke us down, but we have an opportunity to build ourselves back up again, starting with the young children, the boys.
All right, thank you so much there. Arts and Culture spokesperson there, Masichava Khumalo. And I think that's very important that she's mentioning as we are celebrating Heritage Month and we are again highlighting our diversity as a country. It is important to, have a dialogue of the scourge of gender-based violence, the challenges that women are facing, but also combine that with the cultural heritage, the diversity that we are celebrating. They go hand in hand. You cannot speak culture without highlighting the plight of women, or rather the importance of empowering women. And right now I am joined by the CEO of Freedom Park, and that is Me Jane Mufumadi. Of course, you are part of Arts and Culture, and normally when we celebrate Heritage Month, Freedom Park is the host, as this is a rich heritage and cultural hub. From Freedom Park site, this year, 2021, what is the most important message for South Africans as we mark our cultural diversity?
I think we need to remember as a nation that our heritage and culture is what makes us a people. The pride that we have, the knowledge of who we are and where we come from. Without that, we are a lost nation. Therefore, it's very important that we preserve our legacy, our heritage, and where we are. And our young generation needs to know that, because this is what will anchor them.
We are in the midst of a pandemic. There's a lot of challenges in our society. There's a lot of frustration. People are perhaps emotionally and mentally heavy. How do we use this month, Heritage Month, to uplift them, to give them hope, to remind them of who they are and how they can actually overcome the challenges that they're respectively facing, but also at the same time encourage them to unite, to foster nation building, and also just be tolerant towards one another's differences and just diversity.
I think that is why today, in terms of the launch, we have integrated the theme of being active, because living an active life also helps us, not just physically but also mentally. But as we celebrate our Heritage Month, as we learn about each other, let's get excited about knowing my neighbor in terms of their legacy, in terms of their heritage and what they do and what makes them unique. But let's also take a challenge and challenge ourselves to say, as a diverse nation that is supposed to be united and reconciled, what is it that I can learn from another community, another culture that makes me stronger and richer, that enriches my own culture? But what are the commonalities that we can celebrate? For example, the essence of Ubuntu, which cuts across the diversity of our cultures. Let's use that to come together. But as a people, who are we? Let's unpack that and celebrate that, because that is the essence of our identity. That is the sacredness, and there is a spiritual connotation in terms of heritage and who we are as a people, because this is what gives the nation a soul.
All right. Thank you so much. There, the CEO of Freedom Park, Mayor Jane Mufumadi, just unpacking the importance of heritage. And perhaps this is a month for South Africans to once again look within and, look into their cultural strength, our rich heritage. And there we can find hope during this difficult time and difficult period as we face a pandemic and all other challenges that come with it. Just again, there you can see the fitness bunnies there as part of Heritage Month. On that note, Desiree, we hand back to you.